Okay, we'll start with an inspiring quote by Oprah Winfrey. Be thankful for what you have, and then you will end up having more. If you concentrate on what you don't have, you will never ever have enough. The people who are happy will be always happy. The people who cry will be. In 1947, as a former racer car driver, Ferrari built cars under his own name for the first time. Within 5 years, his powerful 12-cylinder cars dominated racing. Within a decade, the road models had become status symbols. Individually crafted, their fenders were pounded into shape against tree trunks. Their engines were cast like statues. So this is Ferrari. You might have come across the name Ferrari cars and all. And so today we have the projections of solids and sections with AutoCAD. So we'll go to AutoCAD. Okay, so I came to AutoCAD screen. So now, if you come with some difficulties or problems, I will try to first sort it out. If anybody come with something. Because many things I didn't cover. Whatever is mainly needed for our drawing, those things only I covered, but still I didn't tell many things, right? So as and when they require, I thought we will come to know about it.
So projections on circle
Projections?
of circle
Sorry. Yeah.
points, selection of points.
Okay. Actually, okay. Circle becomes ellipse. No, you have to take the ellipse option. So when you have actually 4 points are sufficient here. You need not have 12 points because you are not drawing freehand. Okay. So when you have 4 points, if you take horizontal line and vertical line, you will have 4 points. Those 4 points in the next position, if you take, and you can draw the ellipse using those 4 points.
Sir, do you use polyline to join them?
Actually, you can make anything polyline and anything can be made. There are two commands, join and explode. Just I will tell you how it is. Suppose I take individual line, I draw like this, like this. Okay. So if you enter. So if you see here, these are independent objects, 4 different lines, right? So I can make it as a polyline. Because already I have drawn, now I cannot take the polyline option, or you can take the polyline option and draw on the same line again. You can click on the endpoints, it will become plain line, again polyline. Or you can give join command, JOIN. Okay, so join command if you give, and it will ask what are the objects to be joined. So if I click here 1, 2, 3, or even 3 only can be joined, or 4 can be joined. So whatever are to be joined, I have clicked, selected, then enter. So these, now if you see here, the all 4 lines became a single object. So it is like a polyline. Okay, sometimes in the solid, suppose one of the face is hexagon, you have drawn it like a polyline. But later, you come to know that some of the lines are visible and some of the lines are hidden. But it is a single object if it is a polyline. So if you want to separate them, so there is what is called as explode, right? Either you type explode or you take this particular icon. Could you see that icon, explode? So if you just click on the explode, then select object, it is coming, explode select objects. Now I select this, enter. Okay, this is selected, then enter. So what happens now, you see these became independent objects. Okay, all 4 lines are separated. It is exploded into separate objects. So this is one join command, explode command. You can make it as a polyline, or polyline can be made into single separate lines. Is it clear?
Yes. Yes, sir.
So sometimes why I made polyline for a second position of hexagon or something, because that hexagon is to be taken to the next position. So if I take it like a polyline, a single object can be taken. That is also not necessary. You can select all the 6 lines and then you can move it. And another thing is when you want to delete some of the objects, right? You can actually independently select one and one and one and like that. But if you have lot of lines are there and many lines are to be removed, so I can create a window for removal. There are 2 ways. Okay, so one is click, and second click, drag like this. Okay, I will get a blue window. So when I take blue window, whatever the window covers, right? The complete object, if it is there in the window, that object only will be selected. Suppose I remove it now. So what happened? This is actually, window is cutting these 2 lines, but this line is completely within the window. That's why this object only is selected. So I can remove this. Or if I do sweeping to the left side, so I will get a green window. This green window, whatever object it cuts, that will be selected. So now these 2 lines are cut, right? It will be selected. But if it is blue window, the complete object must be within the window. Then only it will be selected. So now if I do like this, because these 2 are cut by the green window, these 2 are selected. I can delete them. Okay, so I will do undo. So like that, you can delete multiple objects either by dragging this side like this. So if it is selected, if I click here, no object will be selected because this is cut. The complete object, this line is not within the window, so it is not selected. But if I do like this, so the first object is selected, second object is not selected. If I extend it, second object is selected. And if I extend further, now third object is selected. And if you completely cover it, then fourth object will be selected like that. Okay, so that is the way we select the objects for multiple deletion or something. That is one more thing I wanted to say. Okay, some more things I like to tell. Okay, now I delete this. Okay, while sections are there, right? I want to hatch. Okay, how to do hatching, I will tell you. So suppose I draw a rectangle. Okay, I draw a rectangle. So now this rectangle is to be hatched. So in the draw tools, in the first draw tools, so why you have to be carefully hearing, because you don't know where I am clicking, where I am entering, what I am typing, those things you don't know, right? So that's why if there is any doubt, you ask me again. Okay. So in these draw tools, I have this particular thing. This is hatch. Okay. So I select hatch. Once I select the hatch, so there are different types of designs are there. So suppose you want some tiles, some bricks, some other things, some other different items have different types of texture, okay, or it is timber, or timber of different quality. So we have different things, like I can choose any of these designs. And there is one option called line. They are alphabetical, right? You can see line option. This is line option, right? So if I take this option, now it is coming hatch pick internal point. Any closed figure, if you take click on inside the figure, I'll get like this. I think it came horizontal. Okay, just hatch. Previously I got that inclined lines. I think I will undo it. And hatch. I think actually previously I got like that. Just I will see. Deleting. Okay, I take again rectangle of some. Okay, first I will give limits. Okay, limits 120. Okay, 0, 0, and 120, comma, and zoom. On. Now, if I take a rectangle, and specify other corner point. First corner point 10, 10 I will pick. And second corner point I will take some 40, 40. So I am taking a square here. So suppose if I want to hatch now, hatch, and if I take the line option, it's coming like this. I take this one. Yeah, I think this is okay. So you have to just check which option giving me. So this, if I take, I can choose one of the options here. So I am getting that. Okay. So this is the way we have to hatch. And one more thing I want to say about if you want hidden lines and axis for solids. So how to get hidden lines and axis. So here you have to go to properties. If you want colors, I have to go for the first bilayer. Okay. So if I take some color and if I draw a line, I will get the line with that color. Now, if I want to change the type of line, the actually second bilayer will give you what is the thickness of the line you want. Okay, so that we need not change. And the third one, if I take bilayer, so it is coming by block continuous. This is continuous line. Okay, other options, if I take other, right, like this. And here there is a option called load. Okay, load. So here I have different types of lines. Like this, there are different types of lines are there. So one is you can take center. So this is center line, CENTER. Actually, again, there are different center 0.5x, center 0.2x, like that. So depending on that, the sizes of the lines will be different. So I am choosing center. Okay, so take it okay. Okay, I think I have to select that. Okay, select it. Okay. So here it will come center. Here it is coming. And one more you can take hidden or dashed. Here dash dot is there, dash is there. And there is one thing called as hidden. So in H, GH, okay, hidden line. So if I take hidden, select it, okay. So these two are selected here. So any of these lines I can select. Suppose I select hidden, okay, and okay, it's still. Now if I draw a line, I will take ortho. So if I draw a line like this, I don't want red, okay, I want white only, suppose. Not coming like properties, hidden, yeah, it comes like this, dashed line. And if I want center line, I'm choosing center and draw a line like this. You will get like this. Okay, so when you have the object, suppose something like this. I think it is in this so I'll take a continuous option and so don't take that hidden lines and axis lines first. At the end, I have to choose that. So once if I draw a small line, if I want to make one of the line hidden here, right, what I have to do is here in the properties, there is what is called as match properties. So last time we have done how to change the colors of each. So when you take match properties, and now if I want to make this color red, I have to choose this. That is paint like thing, okay? So paint this. It is coming like this. Okay, escape. So if I want to change the property of the line, like dashed or something, so again go to properties, you go match properties, and then you click on this. So you will have brush. So if you click on this, it will become dashed. If you click on this, it will become dashed like that in this way. So I can change the property of any line based on this. I can match properties. So first you draw just like without any dashed lines, color lines, or the axis lines and all. And later you can choose the properties and draw one line here and match properties of any line with that line. So like that. Is it clear what I am talking?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that is the way we have to get axis lines, hidden lines, and color lines. All these things I can get like that. And one more thing I wanted to say about how to draw auxiliary views. Okay, quickly I'll do one planes problem only. Okay, so what I'll do is hexagon problem. Second problem I will take in the planes. So diagonal 60 degrees and surface 45 degrees like that. So I have to draw hexagon. I am taking a polygon and with the 6 sides 6, and I am taking edge option E. I think the side of hexagon is 40, I think. Side of hexagon is 40. So I'll click one point here and I take ortho. I want horizontal line like this and I type 40. Okay, now it is coming big. Okay, so what I do, I zoom. And so sometimes it may be very small. And then you can type Z, enter, that is zoom, and E, enter, extends. So it comes to the screen. And then you can scroll it so that the zooming can be done like this. Okay. So this is the way we can do. Sometimes you can pan it and you can take somewhere here.
Sir, while
Yeah.
selecting polygon, you are typing the side on the bracket given, no, sir.
What is that?
You're typing the edge which is
Yeah,
for
yeah.
the polygon, no, sir.
Yeah, yeah. Edge
If-
option I am taking.
If on typing in my laptop, I got it in very small size, sir. Like it is in.
Yeah, yeah. Let it come. Let's see. It may be now it is coming very small, right? Now it is very small.
Yes, sir.
Am I right? So let it be small. Now what you do? You type Z, enter, and E, enter. Zoom extends. So it comes to the full screen. Right? Whatever you have drawn, it comes to the full screen. Now you scroll in or scroll out. So it comes to some size. So you can take to some which convenient size here. And again, it is coming to center. So I want to move it. So you take the pan command. Okay. So here it comes like a hand. It picks up and you take somewhere here. Okay. Like this. Then escape. So this is the way you can do. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then I take XY line, suppose. And so when I draw the projectors, okay, once you confirm, right, here in the snap, you have to tick mark, tick endpoint, midpoint, intersection, and perpendicular. Okay, these four you have to make it right. And if there are more ticks, you remove them. Otherwise, sometimes there will be confusion. Okay, so only these four usually will be needed. And you see that this is highlighted. Snap is highlighted. This is important. Okay, this should be on. Snap should be on. Okay. Now I take the line command. So I click here. Then click here also. Okay. Then enter. It is in the HP. So I take like this. Again enter. That is, it takes line command again. So click here. Again click here. And again enter, same line command, click here. And see the perpendicular option, if it is not taken, it will become inclined. Okay. So it is click here, enter. And again enter, like this, like this. So like this we will get. And so now what I have to do, I have to rotate the surface by 45 degrees. And so here if you see, I want to select this line, but the whole line it is taking, I don't want the whole line to be rotated. And so what I do is, I will take the line command, I will draw another line. I click all the 4 points. So these are like enter. So these are like 3 small lines. Okay, this is one line, this is one line, and this is another line. Okay, so you can see that is a separate line. Yeah.
Sir, what if we explode that, means instead of taking another line?
You can explode it.
Okay, sir.
Okay. And then I have to rotate. So when you take the rotate command, click on rotate and select all the objects. 1, this 2, and this 3. Once selection is over, you have to enter. So objects are selected. Now it is asking rotate specified base point. So base point is about this point I have to rotate. I click on this. So that is selected. Now specify rotation angle or copy or reference. So I have to copy. If I don't copy, this line will be rotated and old line will be gone. So I have to copy, C, enter. And then you have to give the rotation angle. Rotation angle is 45. 45, type, enter. So now it is coming like this. So this is separate line and this original line will be as it is. Now this line is to be moved here. So where is to be moved? Because here I don't have any point on this. To create a point, what I am doing is I take a line, just draw a line like this. So that this intersection point I take as the target point. Okay, now I have to move this 3 lines to here. So now you take move command here. Click on this and select objects. So this small line here, this small line, this small line, 3 lines. So 3 select and enter. Now those objects are selected. Again, specify base point. So specify this base point. Now you can move anywhere. And where to move? To this point. Okay, click on that. Now it came here. Now I can remove this line. Delete. Now I have to draw the locus lines. Okay, click on the line command. So draw here, because it is ortho, it will come horizontal lines automatically. Again, enter. Take this point, draw the line, click, enter. And again, enter. Take this point, draw line, click, and enter. So like this. And then I have to draw the projectors. Again, take line command, click on this, draw it, click, enter. Again, enter. It comes line command. So next point. So if otherwise there will not be any intermediate points, because there are 3 objects. Now I get this point. Otherwise you will not get that point if it is a single line. Okay, click here, enter, enter. Now I get this point. Click, enter, enter. And click on this point, enter. Okay. So now I got this. Now I can draw this hexagon. So you can draw it like a polyline, or you can draw like a separate lines, or you can join later. Any way you can do. So I am drawing with just single line. Okay, line command means all 6 pieces I have to draw. So first this corner I will start here. So next this, and next this. So these are, I could pick those points because in the snap I have perpendicular and intersection. So wherever 2 lines are intersected, I can pick those points. Here. So like this I can draw. And now these additional lines, if I want to delete, TR, trim, enter. Now this can be trimmed, this can be trimmed. It will come like a red cross. Okay, trimmed, trim, 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 trim. Okay, or even this also can be trimmed. Or if you want, even the inside lines also can be trimmed if you want. Okay, this way it's better. And now I can rotate this figure and project the other view, or I can draw auxiliary plane method. Okay, so in the previous class I told how to rotate this. Okay, so if you want to rotate this, go to rotate command, select all the 6 lines, and take the base point anywhere, any corner, right? And copy command, the copy option, and then 60 degrees option you have to take. Then it will rotate here, and then you have to move it. Okay, that is one of the way. And another way is auxiliary plane method. Okay, how to do auxiliary plane method? I have to draw a 60 degrees line here. Okay, so we will see here how to draw it. Okay, first I will draw an arbitrary line. Okay, enter. Now I rotate this line by 60 degrees. How to rotate? Take the rotate command, and this is the object to be selected. Select, enter. So select any base point, either this point, the intersecting point. Specify base point. So okay, I will select this intersecting point. And what is the angle? 60 degrees. 60. Enter. So it came like this. Okay, so this is the XY line. Now I have to draw the projectors perpendicular to this. How to draw them? So that is the main thing. So what I do is I will rotate the coordinate system. Okay, So I want to make this as x-axis, and the latter y-axis orthogonal option I can just draw like that. So how to do that? There is a command called UCS. UCS means user coordinate system. Okay, so I want the user want to change the coordinate system. So UCS, enter, and it is asking specify origin. So I will specify this as the origin, and specify a point on the x-axis. So this I want to be x-axis, right? I specify that, click on the other endpoint. So now this became x-axis, and perpendicular to this is y-axis. Now you can see my cursor also became into x-coordinate, x-axis direction, y-axis direction. So because it is an ortho option. If I remove ortho option, it will come like, sorry, this is gone. Okay. UCS, click, enter. I have to type enter. Okay, and so the ortho option is not there now. And if I draw a line like this, now I draw any line in this way because it is not in ortho. Okay, and suppose I choose ortho option, and if I draw a line, so it comes perpendicular to this or parallel to this. So now what I do is I choose this line, okay, and I draw one line like this. Okay, this line is here. Actually, I want to extend this line. How to extend? EX, extend. So specify object to extend. Okay, this is the object to be extended. And okay, what I have to do is I have to draw some line here. Okay, some line I am drawing here. Now I want to take extend command, EX, extend, and this is the object to be extended. If I click on that, to the next point, it will be extended like this. Okay, so the object is extended, the axis is extended. Now I can remove this line. Okay, so this line I have drawn. Now you take line command, draw other lines. Click, enter, enter. Click, click, enter, enter. Click, click, enter, enter. I think this line. This is the way I get. And once I get this, what should I do? I have to transfer these distances, right? These distances I have to transfer there. And how to transfer those distances? Am I clear what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, because I'm going to get a front view here. The front view distances I have to transfer. So what I do is there is a command called offset. Okay, this is offset. This offset. So if I take offset, you choose offset now, and it is asking which distances is to be transferred, offset distance. So I am taking this point and this point. This is the distance to be transferred. Okay, and then the object to offset. This is the axis line I am offsetting, and I can do this way or this way. Which side I want? Above this I want. So click on this side. I am getting a parallel line at the required distance. At this distance, I got a parallel line. Okay, and enter. And one more. This distance also I have to transfer. There are two more distances. Okay, this distance I transferred. Then again take offset and take the distance from this point to this point, and select the object and click here. So I got that. and one more offset. I click on this. Okay, click on this point and click on this point. Click on the line. I got it. So I got these parallel lines to the axis at the required distances. Now I have to see which points are to be joined. Okay, so this is the first point, and this point is at 0 distance. Okay, so now I take line command, and Ardha I will remove. Okay, so what I have to do, first point is here, click, and the second point is on this line and on the next distance. This is the one. Third point is on this line, and this is on the third horizontal line. And next point is on this line, like this. And next point is here. And next point is here. And then I can close it. See, like this. Okay, so what I told is, I'll just repeat again. First, I have to get the auxiliary axis or the auxiliary x-axis. So what I have to do, first I have to draw some line and rotate the line to the required point angle. So once I get that line, I have to change the coordinate system using UCS command. So type UCS, it will ask two endpoints of the axis. So click on this point and then click on this endpoint. So this will become x-axis. Perpendicular to that will be y-axis. So what I have to do, I have to choose ortho, and then I draw the projectors, okay, which come perpendicular to this auxiliary plane. So using that, I draw all the lines. Then I have to choose offset command. So whatever distance I have to transfer, you have to click on these 2 points. First click on offset, then give this distance, and then click on the x-axis, auxiliary x-axis, and then click above that, just above that. So a parallel line automatically will come there. So like that, whatever distances I have to transfer, I have to get the parallel lines here. So then you can name them. Is everything clear what I told?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that is the way I have to get the auxiliary plane. If you want, you can draw auxiliary view, or you can rotate the object and get the view. Okay, it is left to you. So whichever you feel convenient, you can do like that.
Sir, I had a doubt.
Yes.
While we are doing dimensioning, sometimes the font size is very small. So how can
that I will tell. Okay, now suppose I go to dimensioning. Sometimes it will come, luckily it may come or may not come. Okay, so suppose I click on this, I will change the coordinate UCS. So UCS again, I want to get back. Enter, and click on the first point here on the x-axis, and click on the other end. Okay, enter. So now my x-axis, y-axis changed. Okay, now I am taking the dimension, and I am taking linear. Click on this, and bring it here. So now you can see the arrow size is small, and the number also I don't see. Okay, but if you just zoom it, I may see a little bit, but still if I want to change the size, right? So I pan it here like this. Okay, what I told, anybody remember what is the way?
Yes.
annotation?
Annotation. Okay, ISO 25. Then manage dimension styles. Then modify. So here I get the different sizes. Okay, suppose if I now text size, if I want text, I have to choose. Here the height of the text is 2.5. Okay, so I can make it as maybe 4. Usually the same length you give for the arrow also. Okay, so this is 4 suppose. Then symbols and arrows are there. So you take that and you give the same size here. 4. Okay, so then you say OK and then close. Now you can see that arrow size, and many times you don't see arrow also, arrow head, and number also will be very small. So you can change them in that way. Is that okay?
Yes, it's fine.
Yeah. So that is the way you can change the text size and also the arrow size. Usually text size and arrow size you keep the same. And so one thing is, when you draw the hexagon and pentagon, don't draw arbitrarily something, because you can, if you don't type any size, it will come hexagon, but you don't know the size of the hexagon. Later when you dimension it, it may come 400 or 4 only. So while after taking the edge option, you give the length of the edge. Then only you will get to the required size.
Okay, sir.
Suppose if I take rectangle, suppose I do the rectangle, just I can click here and I will get a rectangle. I can now, if I draw all the things, now I don't know what is the size of the rectangle. So later when I want to dimension it, I will see that it is not my required dimension. So you can zoom it or zoom in, but the dimension will not change. It depends on the window size. It will set to some size. So that's why when you draw the polygon, you choose the edge length, okay, without forgetting.
Okay.
Sir, will you once again show the marking of points?
Yeah, marking of points. Okay, if I take text, single line text, and specify start point. Okay, I specify start point. Specify text height, same height you give. It is 2.5 is there. You give 4. Okay, and enter. And rotation 0 only. So it is coming there, some clicking. So I'll type A. I think it is in capitals. A is there. Okay, enter. No, not enter. A, click here. So I got A there. Now what I want to do, I want to get B, C, D, E, F like that. So instead of doing every time that particular one, I take copy command here. So this is copy. You can type COPY or just you click on the icon. If you don't know where the icon is, you can type copy. So I have taken copy. Then it is asking select objects. So I select this A. Enter. And specify base point. That on the A only you select the base point. Okay, like this. Now you can move anywhere and click here. No, actually what is happening is that point is there previously, that intersecting point or a end point, it is coming onto that. So I have to remove snap. Okay, so I undo it. That A is gone. Now the snap option, you remove it. Okay, now you take again copy, select the object, click base point here. Now you take here. Okay, click there, click there, click there, click there. Wherever you want, you click there. Okay, so here I click here one. Here there are 2 points are there. Here there are 2 points. Here there is 1 point. Like that I have to take enter. Now double click on this. Okay, so you type B, enter. C, enter. Click D, enter. Click on this, E, enter. Click on this, F, enter. And if you click on this, you write A dash. Click on this, you write F dash. Enter. Click on this, you type B dash. Like that you can do. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
So that is the way you have to name them. Because unless you name them, in the third position, it is difficult to know, suppose auxiliary plane or even normal thing also. where each point comes. Unless you know A line and A line from here, then only you can name them properly. Otherwise, you have to think. Okay, now I have drawn this because I understand this is the line from here, this is the height from here. Like that, I have selected it by normal observation. But many times it may not be possible to draw that without naming. Okay.
For XY axis also the same method follows, sir.
Which one?
For mentioning XY and X1, Y1 axis.
Yeah. What is that?
Naming axis as XY and
Yeah. XY also you can do like the same thing. So suppose I take again copy and choose this letter, enter, and base point, and I put here. So that is A, and double click, you write type X. Okay. That is the way you can write that. Anything else?
No, sir.
No. So for this planes assignment, you can submit it after your minor exams. Okay, no problem. And this solids and sections also, what you have to do is, you have drawn already solids and sections assignments. First 5 problems of solids and first 5 problems of sections assignments. Total 10 problems you have to draw for the next assignment. I will give that in your Google Classroom. So you have to take that as the next assignment. And one more thing I am telling, still some people, sections 7 people have to submit, and isometric 13 people have to submit. Now I am starting correction. If they are not submitted, they will get 0 marks only once I correct it, because I have given a lot of time, right? So when I started correction, if the assignment is not yet submitted, I give 0 only. Because I am not doing immediately and I am accepting, though the date is over, right? Till I start correction, I am accepting all the assignments. But once I start correction, I will not accept any assignments after that. Once I give marks 0, that's all. Because I am giving additional time. I am not just very strict about the submission time. So I take my own time and I start correction. When I do correction, whatever are there, only for them only I correct it. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Anything else you like to ask? So when will we be meeting next time? This Saturday is which day? Timetable? What we asked, you remember?
Thursday.
Thursday means today.
Yes, sir.
Right? So you have drawing class on that day. Okay, that will not be there. And Monday class also is not there. And up to what day you have exams?
Friday.
26.
26 means
Friday.
So next Thursday also will not be there. Okay, so our next class will be on 1st March.
Yes, sir.
Right? So 28th is Sunday, right? So I will give you for this last assignment to submit on 28th night. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay, even some more time also I'll give. First, that is AutoCAD first planes assignment. 28th is the last date. I am giving so much time.
Okay, sir.
So 28th is the last day for planes, and March March 3rd. March 3rd will be the last date for solids and sections. 28th and 3rd. I think we will be meeting on 1st. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So you remember the dates. 28th, planes you have to submit. 1st, we will have the class. 3rd, you have to submit the second assignment. And we will meet again on 4th, Thursday. And
Yes, sir.
so on that day, I will be teaching AutoCAD, using AutoCAD isometric projection.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Right. Anything else you want to ask? Otherwise, I will close it.
Sir,
Sir,
since
in
all the figures are in same uniform color, can we distinguish from other lines, like construction lines?
The construction line, same color, and like you were drawing, just whatever you have done conventionally, same way you do here.
no, sir, actually he's asking.
What is that?
We actually darken the figures, no sir. Instead of construction lines, we make construction lines light, no sir.
Okay. That's why we are changing the color for final objects instead of dark line. Okay, if you want, actually in the properties, I told thick lines are there. In the properties, in the second option. So you have, sorry, not this. Here you have different thickness of the lines. If you want, you can give that, or you can change the color. Whichever, what is that actually you want to ask? What is convenient for you?
So maybe if we can make the lines thicker, the final views.
Yeah, you can do
Line
like
weights.
that.
Views thicker.
Yeah, it doesn't matter whether you want to change the color or you want to change the thickness, right? Just I want to distinguish the objects from the construction lines. Okay, whichever way you do, it doesn't matter for me.
Okay.
Is it okay?
Sir, could you explain about the coloring?
Yeah. Just you go to the properties, right? You choose this white is there now. You just click on this, and you can take any color. Okay, suppose I take yellow color. Yellow color looks bright actually. Okay, so if I take yellow color, escape, and draw a line. Okay, some small line somewhere here. So I got an yellow line, right? And you can change the property of any line here to yellow line by choosing here properties, match properties is there. Okay, click on match properties. Then it is asking select source object. I click on this source object. Okay, so now if I click on any line, any object, so it becomes yellow. It becomes yellow like that. And I click here, click here, click here, it becomes yellow. Whatever I want to make as visible, so that I don't know whether can you see?
Yes, sir.
Okay, like that I can change the properties. In the same way, you can change some of the lines to hidden lines, some of the lines to center lines. Using first you choose that property, draw one line here, a sample line, and you can match that line property to any line. So here in the properties, in the first layer, I have colors options. In the second layer, I have thickness of the lines options. In the third layer, I have hidden line or center line, those things I can choose. And once I choose some particular thing, and if you draw a line, it will take that properties. Okay, just draw a line, leave it. Okay, so at the end of the solution, then you can change the properties of whatever lines you want to change. That will be easier. But otherwise, every time you change the property, draw a dark line, again change property, draw a hidden line, or again change property, draw a color line. You need not do like that. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
So that is the better way.
Sir, can you please change
Yeah.
the thickness of line and draw it?
Yeah, we'll see. I also didn't do that. Okay, so we'll see properties, and I change this. So here you are having different lines, So what I will do is I will take 0.25, suppose, and if I take a line here, I think color is there.
Yes, sir, but still the thickness doesn't
Yeah,
seems to be
I will see that. I don't know what is default window. I don't know what is that. So I will take a thick one. Enter. I will change the
So
color.
actually, there's a function called line weight that you can use. That works.
Okay, we will see whether this works or not. Yeah. It is not changing.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, actually in polyline it will be there, line weight and all. I don't know, just.
I searched on Google LW thing. I think it comes.
Line L weight is there, line weight. And here also the same things are coming.
So that works.
I don't know. Or I have to select that line and change the properties.
So actually, there on the line weight, there's a option to display the line weight. You have to check that also. I think that same window.
There is properties. Over there.
So the same window that you opened before on line weight, there was a checkbox for display.
Okay.
Sir, there are three lines at the bottom right corner of the. Yes, this one. That one, the line settings.
Okay.
The one that you just did. That was correct.
So the display line weight checkbox.
Okay. And okay, I will take this. Yes, yeah.
Sir, please select a line only.
Okay, I'll select this only.
Yes.
And actually properties will be there here. Here actually I can change the thickness also. Line color.
The last option is thickness. The THIC.
Yeah, here. I don't know exactly. I have to check it. Okay. I thought because there is option is coming here, properties. And if I take this, I think if I draw, it has to come. If also,
Sir, once open A properties, sir.
this why this window is not going.
Sir, there is a small cross at the top, sir. Top of that
Okay,
window.
okay. Yeah. Okay, now suppose if I draw a line, yeah, it is coming like this. Okay, I think it will come like this. So 1 point, it will be too much. So I will take 0.3. And if I take a line, it is coming like this. Okay, you can change this thickness like that. Is it clear what I'm?
Sir, means earlier you will need to do that also.
No. Just you take this and draw a line, and you can change the properties of the line whichever you want to change. Is it clear? Once I draw this line, you can match properties. You can match properties and choose this and do this. Is it okay?
Yes, sir, but I am asking like earlier while directly changing the properties, it was not working. No?
Yeah, I don't know. Just you have to check it. This is better already.
Sir, there are 3 lines at the bottom right now, sir. Can you click on that, sir?
Here, this one.
Yes, sir. Please click
First
on
one,
that. Yes, sir. And the line weight is there, no, sir. Above transparency. Line weight.
Yeah.
That one, if you click. And there's an option that comes here, sir, at the bottom. Beside the annotations option, there is here at the bottom, sir. At the bottom.
Here.
No, sir. There's a square, no, sir, at the bottom. Here, little to your right, to your left, to your left. There's the line weight option comes up here, which we can use to.
Anyhow, this is properties is easier now.
No, sir,
Yes.
it will not work until you select that line weight blue. Means at the bottom of the screen, just after annotation means right bottom of the screen.
Yes, sir. The bottom of the screen.
Yeah.
Here, beside the annotations is there, sir. Here, annotations. A little more to the left, sir. A little more to the left.
Beside snap, sir.
Yeah, besides
There, that one. Beside snaps, sir. Here, if you right click on that, sir. Right.
Line weight
And
settings.
line weight settings.
Yeah. Okay,
No, sir,
actually,
just don't
for every
do it.
command, there are 3 or 4 ways to choose.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so line I can type, L I can type, I can choose this icon here. There are different ways of doing it. It doesn't matter, whichever way you feel convenient. I feel this is convenient. Properties you choose, draw one line here of my interest thickness and change the properties of anything you want to change. Because initially when you draw the solution, don't worry about what type of line, what type of it is, and don't worry about that. Just draw, construct all the lines. They complete the figure. Then if you draw the required the lines with the required properties, then you can change property of any line that you want, any object you want. That is always, I feel, convenient. It is left to you what you want, the way you. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. But actually, what we were saying that this method of checking the properties won't work until the bottom line weight option is checked.
Line weight
Means
option.
if you deselect that, means turn it non-blue.
Okay, maybe. So first
No,
I
sir,
have
not
to
here.
correct this,
Not
huh?
here, sir.
Sir,
Just after snap, sir. Right side of snap option.
yeah, this one here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
If you just click it,
So this should be on. Huh?
yes, sir. If you off it, then the line weight will.
Yeah, that's right. So these thicknesses are going off. If I click on this, these thicknesses are coming. That's right. Yeah. Thank you. So anything else?
No, sir.
Okay, shall we close the class?
Yes. Sir, one more thing. If
Yeah.
I don't select orthogonal, then also a reference line which is green in color shows me that you are going perpendicular.
If I don't choose ortho, now it is not chosen. Now what you are telling?
Sir, if you select line option and draw a line,
Yeah. If I draw a line, it will come to anything. I cannot draw exact vertical or exact horizontal. It's difficult.
yes, sir, but for me it's means I am capable of drawing exact horizontal and vertical because it is magnetized at those 2 points, means either horizontal or vertical. Sir, can I present you the screen?
Okay, if you can do it, you do it. Why? There are, I think I told you, there are so many facilities and features are there, right? So there are something called as, I will tell you one thing. Suppose I draw a rectangle. Okay, there is something called as hard points like that. So if I click on this, so there are points, blue points are coming, right? If I click on this, it becomes hard point, and I can change this like this.
Yes, sir.
Like this. Okay, there are so many features are there, but as I told, as you go on further, like machine drawing and all, you may use many of the things, but for drawing this our projections of planes and all, because like Word, PowerPoint, there are so many options are there. We don't use all the features. Whatever are needed for our purpose, we learn that, and later you can spend time, you go on exploring and experimenting, and you can, because there are so many modify options are there. Only we used only few options. You have used rotate, move, explode, offset, copy, and there are some more. This is reflection, mirror reflection, and there is the like array, and there are many other things are there. But we have used only few of them, and there are so many things like layers, and each layer, like if you have a building, right? There will be plumbing connections will be there, wire connections will be there, electrical connections, and there will be wooden work, shelves will be there. If all of them are drawn in the same figure, you will get confused. So there will be layers. So one layer for electrical connections, one layer for plumbing connections, and one layer for wooden work, like that you can make, and you can take any layer you want, like that. There are so many things are there. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So if you go through any AutoCAD book, and you can learn so many things of the package. As I told, like Word, PowerPoint, and Excel, there are so many features are there. In Excel, all mathematical calculations, whatever you do in programming, you can do in the Excel sheet itself. Okay, just it is left to you how much you explore and all. It's left to you. What I want is the solution of the problems, whatever are given assignments, they are needed. Okay.
Sir.
So we'll go to the story.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So it is about a person. I will talk about that person. He's like biopic actually. He had a troubled childhood. His parents got separated, and his stepfather was physically abusive to his mother and siblings. His mother was falsely convicted twice because of his stepfather's allegations. Because they had no one to take care of them, he, along with his siblings, had to stay in a foster home at the age of 8. His first marriage failed and got divorced because of economical problems. And not only did he fail miserably at his job as a medical equipment salesman, and his girlfriend also deserted him due to his deteriorating financial conditions. And she left him with a small boy, and he has to look after the boy. And homeless, he stayed with his son at motels, parks, airports, and once even in a public toilet. He toiled incessantly. Okay, till now you heard this. Have you seen this story in any movie?
Pursuit of Happiness, is that it, sir?
Yeah, very good.
Pursuit of Happiness.
So that is the movie. So he toiled incessantly at a brokerage firm during the daytime, stood in long queues so as to sleep under a roof at night. After passing the licensing exam in 1982, he became a full-time employee of Dean Witter. He established his own brokerage firm, Gardner Rich and Company, in 1987, in which he owns 75% of the stock. He sold a small stake in Gardner Rich in 2006 in a multi-million-dollar deal. And he is none other than Chris Gardner, the CEO and founder of Christopher Gardner International Holdings, with offices in San Francisco, New York, and Chicago. So his life was portrayed in Hollywood film The Pursuit of Happiness, which not only went to a blockbuster, but was also loved by audience worldwide. So this story just says, okay, many people say, how can I be successful when I am so poor? I don't have anything. Many people are born with silver spoon in his mouth, and that's why they became big or like that. So there are so many examples of this sort who has a horrible childhood, very poor atmosphere, poor surroundings and all, but still they became very successful and multimillionaires they became like that. Okay, so just I like to share this with you, and thank you very much. All the best for your minor exams.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.